Welcome at this tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show some cases I received from our clients using our equipment, and they didn't really figure out how to use the analysis software or what are the proper settings to get in this case, the seeds out of the background. I'm going to show you how it's possible to do it and also give you some tips and tricks. So to start off, I've opened the data of the seeds, and I also received the settings that my clients were using. So they had certain settings. You can save them here. So you can say save profile, and then I can open that profile to see which settings you have put in to get the data out of the images. As you can see, I can see a color image, so also red, green, blue, and color. I can see those, but chlorophyll is dark. I don't see any objects. But you can also see, you still see the entire picture. You can see everything. So in this case, I know there's no mask. So let's see. You can see there's no mask. It's on total image. So first I'm going to mask it because I want to have the seeds out of the background. Well, every seed has fluorescence. So we're first going to use the fluorescence parameter to mask it out of the background. Well, as you can see, instant white. Maybe that's the background color they've used. I can check that. Yeah, background. Well, I put it always in blue, so I put it back in blue. And now I'm going to take a look at why didn't it mask properly. It's a really low mask. It's only 800. So I'm going to take a look just at that chlorophyll level. What's the chlorophyll level of a seed here? So it's 1790. And you can see it over here, the pixels. It's 1700. You can also see the background is already 1300. So there's a really small difference between the seeds and the background. So these seeds have a low fluorescence that makes it extra hard to get it out of the background. But we're going to try it anyway. So 1700. Well, that's strange because I put it on 800. So it should pop out of the background, but then other settings are switched on that will prevent this. Most of the time, it's this one, the object size. You can see they have set an object size of a maximum of 50,000 and a minimum of 500. Probably those seeds are smaller. So by lowering this number to maybe 50, I think, still nothing. I will also delete the mask, this one. You see, there you have some, it's back again. So this is good. So we have switched on the mask on chlorophyll. I changed this and we see something. But you also see still the entire picture because I have the mask on 800 and you already see that the background noise is 1200. So we have to at least be bigger than 1250-ish. So let's say 1300. Range check error. So something has happened. Let's see if I can fix that. Range check error normally comes when the setting is not really proper. I now deleted the noise, so probably there were too much objects. You can also see, we still see those borders. This is we have a special trout on this camera system to make the light homogeneous. But what you can do is, this is touching the edge. So I have a setting here. Let me see where it is. At delete border objects here, you can see. Press that one. It will delete everything that touches the border. Look at that. Now I want to have the seeds. I'm going to stretch also the image a little bit because you can see the color is really pale. So now you can see the color way better. Now I'm gonna increase the mask a little bit. 1400. There you go. You can also see some of the seeds are disappearing because it's such a low level of chlorophyll. What I can try is to lower this a little bit so the seeds will still be there. Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, I also do delete edge, I think. Yeah, it will, the edge will cut out the excess pixels around. the seeds, but you can see also seeds are disappearing. So I will switch that back off. Look, there it's back again. I want to go as low as possible so I see the most seeds. But now at 1300, you get a lot of noise. So I have to take a look at what's the perfect settings for this batch. 1320. And now show object numbers. And I can see like object 48 is 790 pixels. The seed is 200 pixels. The very biggest seed is 300 pixels. So let me use this setting. Everything, let's keep it on the safe side. Everything above 500 will be deleted. Switch it on. There we go already. Now I can lower it like this 21. I'm not going to lose. It's 87 pixels. I'm going to just lower this to 400 and see what happens. Ooh, I lost the seed here. So 450. There it's back again. That's the biggest seed then, 411. So I'm going to put it on 420. I don't lose this seed, but maybe I lose some other parts, no, not that much. And I'm going to look at these levels. So this is level 1. Object 1 is 178 pixels. I don't think, because these are also small. 183. I think this was the smallest one, 83. 195, yeah. Let's put this on 90-ish. Okay, now the most of the noise is already gone. And I unchecked this. You see, we still have some noise, but I'm not going to analyze in the objects. You can analyze with objects, then it will do the numbers. One way to also solve this, if it's only one image, you have image, and you really want to analyze one image really detailed, you can, of course, do the eraser thing. You just erase it like that. And now you will have the perfect image. What you then can do is, if you like this, you can say save modified. Always remember, when you do this and you increase the mask again, or you change the mask again, so you put it on 1350, it will calculate everything back again. Also with it, oh, the noise is still gone. That's good. Normally it would do that. Maybe that's any update I wasn't aware of. Let me see. Oh yeah, great. So it will remember the eraser. That's really useful. But what you, there it is back again. Let me see. 1350-ish, I had it on. Yes. So now you can say save modified. And when you come back to this file, you have it saved. And then you can also really calculate the individual object sizes and everything like that. That could be really interesting. You can see the numbers are not aligned. And that's because the computer is counting in a certain way. In this case, it looks from top to bottom, from right to left. It calculates. So this is the first pixel layer that's coming into the image. So that's one. But the second one from the top is this one. And the third one from the top is that one. Fourth, and so forth. So that's why like 50 is over here, because that's the lowest amount of pixel rows is with this, or the highest, the lowest, yeah, is with this one. So that's how it counts. But to solve that, to get the data out of the image, we're going to use ROIs, regions of interest. They are seeds, so I'm going to use circles. And to set the ROIs, I'm going to go to color, switch off the mask. I'm going to stretch the color image a little bit so I can see. Oh, I don't see the background. Why don't I see the background? Really dark background. Normally I would see the background if I stretch it enough, but maybe I just too precautious. Then I'm going to stretch the chlorophyll. I should see it on this one. Oh, this one. No, also I don't see it. Well, normally I would see it, but it's a little bit dark. Well, no problem. I would just use the chlorophyll if you drag this, drag the first one. If you drag the second one, nothing happens. You always drag the first one, put it on top of it, and then you are going to use the size first. I'm going to put it on 50. So 50, put this one in the middle. And then I'm going to use the margins, so the XY margins to, you can see now it shifts like that. This is pretty good. 18, so probably also 18-ish that way. And then I'm going to increase the rows. 1, 2, 3. There you have it. And one extra. Now you can see I perfectly have 50 regions of interest on every individual seed. Always press update. So if you have the raw update, because now everything is calculated. Now I'm gonna see. Yeah, this is okay. So we have the chlorophyll levels. You can press 10, and you see the chlorophyll level of the individual seed. So that's the average of the total region of interest, because the mask is still off. Sorry, put on the mask again. There it is. Now you can see I thought it was really low. So now you can see 10 has 1457, 1563. So you can really see the differences. In this case, I would also use some ranges. So we want to see the fluorescence of the seeds. So I would use a range. Well, the range was from around 1700, maybe there's 2000 in it. So I would say I'd start at 2000, and make some classes. So like with steps of 200. So 1600 till 1400. 1400 till 1200, and then 1200 to 0. You can also do this one a little bit higher. So if you put this just on 20,000, so everything lower than 1200 will be brownish. Everything above 1800 will be green. And you can see if I now show the classes, you see this, and here on the right side, everything is automatically calculated. And you can already see that almost everything is in class 3. And class 4 also a little bit. So it's quite a good range. You have like 3 classes that show you some differentiation. You could also say, well, okay, it's too big of a step. I want to make sure everything is in one class. So then what you can do is lower this one. So you do smaller steps. So for example, I would put this on 1800 and 1800 to 1700. There was a lot in this class, so 1700 until 1600, then 1500, 1600. 1600 until 1500. You can also already see change. And now this one until 1500. Okay, then still a lot is in the bottom one, but now you can see a spread of every part. And now if you use in your setup log, you're gonna mask it. You can, oh, here's a nice feature. You can see 23 has a lot of green in it. So that's a really higher fluorescence, same as this one. So you see 18, 28, and 23 have a high fluorescence, and the other ones are pretty much the same. But that's a nice outcome. What we can do now is get this data out of it. So what we can do is a setup log. And in this case, I want to measure the chlorophyll fluorescence, so CHL. Maybe I also want to measure the red, green, blue value. Maybe I can see something about that. And I want to mask, or I want to see those classes. So that are the classes we just set in. If you don't want to use a batch analysis, you just do it like this. You press OK, and you say log. Now this file is logged. And you see we set total image and object regions. So this one is logged. But if you do want to do batch analysis, you see now 222 files are detected. I don't want that because in this case, we also have color images in here. But we only want to measure the HDR file. So we say HDR and then underscore B and then star, press enter. And then indeed we have 74 that we already had. I'm going to do a batch analysis now. So I say I want to calculate all the images with these settings. Okay, let's go. There's the first problem. You saw it, seeds were disappearing. Again, seeds are disappearing. Again, seeds are disappearing. There's no seeds at all. So break. This is not going to work because some settings, like in this one, it's not useful for this image. Why? That's my question. So we're gonna take a look at the, let me see, first put off the mask. There it is. Probably one of these is too tight. 40. No, that's not the case. Then the fluorescence is too tight, maybe. Oh, it's even gone. So now you have another thing. But what you also noticed, this is a different batch of seeds. These are not the small seeds. So my client put all the seeds of different seed lots. So like I think it's like brassica and pepper seeds in one file. But you cannot analyze both files in the same setting because they have different characters or different characteristics about the level. So what do you look? These are way bigger seeds. So if I take a look, those have a chlorophyll of 2,500, lower 1,600, and they're way bigger. So I'm gonna lose this one because now everything bigger than 420 is also allowed. Probably the seeds were too big for this. So mask it again. Now it's too low. You see a small pixel line disappearing, so I put it on 1500. And there it is again. So important when you do the analysis, always put one batch of plots or one batch of seeds for one analysis program. So only put these seeds in and analyze it on a certain setting. You can save it if these are pepper seeds. I don't know exactly. You say save pepper profile or something like that. And the other one, if that was brassica, you say, well, brassica settings, and save it on like that one, and only use those to image or to analyze the brassica, for example. Well, and now you can do the same thing again. We put the regions on top of it. They're probably still, they're still on top, and then everything is calculated automatically. Okay, well, I hope I could show you how to get proper data out of the analysis software. Also, just so be aware that you put the same category of plants or same genotype of seeds in one folder or one folder. So this is the total batch, which then just say one is brassica, one is pepper, and analyze them accordingly. And then always be aware that you look at the chlorophyll percentage, you look at the mask, you say, okay, 1500, well, put the proper setting in, and then this is really important, the object size. You can really subtract them from the background. I hope this was helpful. If there are any questions left, just send me an email at vincent.jaling@phenovation.nl.